I was staring at my vision board for what seemed like the gazillionth time. And even with everything I wanted staring right back at me, there was still this quiet ache of doubt sitting underneath all of it. I had done everything right. The affirmations, the journaling, the plan. I had it mapped out exactly how it was supposed to happen. And I was holding on to that how for dear life. But here's what I did not realize. The how I was gripping so tightly, it was the very thing keeping my breakthrough from landing. So I planned more, controlled more, got even more specific about how it was supposed to happen. And the more I gripped, the further away I felt. Friend, why do we torture ourselves trying to control every single thing? Well, listen, by the time we're done, you're going to be able to put something down that you've been carrying for way too long. So let's get into it. Hey friend, real quick, if you have not yet subscribed to the Confident and Empowered Women podcast, what are we even doing, okay? We are here every single Tuesday and Thursday, and this is not just a podcast. This is a community of women who are done shrinking, settling, people-pleasing, performing, putting herself last. This is where we come to remember who we actually are and build the life that reflects her. We are becoming together, friend. And if you're not subscribed yet, today is the day. Hey, friend. Welcome back. Listen, I'm coming in hot. I'm coming in with love today too. Straight up, no chaser, but with so much love. I want you to know, I'm not just talking to you, okay? I call myself out like this all the time. But I don't really look at it like I'm calling me out. It's really calling me up. And I want to speak to the best of you. And in doing that, we have to be able to recognize ourselves in our fullness. And at the same time, recognize when we are the one blocking that wholeness from shining in the first place. We often think we have to do everything on our own. It's like, if it's going to happen, it's because we had the perfect plan. We did everything perfectly, every step done to the T, executed to perfection. We packaged it up beautifully and placed it in our own lap. And I get it. I've been there. I can remember staring at my vision board for what felt like the gazillionth time. And everything I wanted, it was right there, staring back at me. And even with all of that, even with all the clarity, the intention, and the beautiful pictures on the board, there was still this ache, this quiet doubt sitting right underneath everything. And the more I felt it, the more I listened to it, the more my shoulders went limp, my hope deflated, and all of that doubt just got louder than me wanting it in the first place. And you know what I did? Exactly what we've always been taught to do. We try harder. Listen, I actually just made a YouTube video about this called Stop Trying, There's a Better Way. And friend, I will make sure it's linked for you in the show notes because we are reducing the usage of the word trying because that energy, it holds frustration, scarcity, and it's focused on what's not here yet. So let's go light on the trying and heavy on the doing because you're doing it, friend. And let me just pause here for a moment. Let's ease into this with some grace as I give you this truth. The reason we try to control how it's supposed to happen is not because we're women and we just want to be in control of everything, okay? Contrary to popular belief. It's because our brain is literally wired for this, okay? So geek out with me here for a minute. Science has found that uncertainty activates the part of our brain that's responsible for fear and anxiety. And when your brain doesn't know what's coming, it interprets that as a danger, okay? Somebody cue mystical. Danger. Y'all know I play too much, but that's what your brain is doing. It goes on the hunt looking for certainty anywhere it can find it. It pushes you into planning mode, problem solving mode. It sets you up so that you're controlling everything you possibly can control on repeat. Not because you're the only one who can do it right, it's your brain working to keep you safe. So when you are up at 11 p.m., mapping out every single possible scenario of how something could unfold, your brain is not being dramatic. Okay, listen, low key, maybe it is. Okay, you know your brain better than I do. But according to science, your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do. And then because we are women, we add on another layer, honey, because that's just what we do. We were socialized to manage everything, even when we're criticized for it. You were a momager before Kris Jenner coined the phrase, okay? Because we manage the household, the relationships, the schedule, social media, and social events, the emotions of everyone around us. We have been carrying it all for so long that managing outcomes just becomes second nature. And nobody ever sat us down and said, hey, beloved, you don't have to hold all of this. And friend, this is where we release the shame. You were never wrong for trying to control how everything is supposed to happen. You just weren't shown that there's another way until right now, okay? And this is where grace is given because we got to talk about what it's actually costing you. Here's what's really playing out in real life. You try to convince somebody that you're the perfect woman for them. You take on extra projects at work to prove you're the perfect candidate for the promotion, even though you are already burnt to a crisp. You always volunteer to help a friend. You know, the one who always got something going on. You show up, you give, you pour, but then you realize they never really volunteer for you. And why do we do all this? Because we think that is how we get the guy to fall in love with us. That is how we get the promotion. That is how we get the friend to finally reciprocate everything that we give. When really, that is just how we end up white knuckling our way straight into exhaustion, frustration, feeling unappreciated, and starting to wonder if our time is ever really gonna come. And listen, I know soon as we hear Janet Jackson singing Control, we forget this is not what she had in mind. Friend, when you have been so specific about the how, when your preferences and your nice to haves become the facts you live by, you quietly put a ceiling on the very thing you've been believing for. Because what if what you want is going to come to you in a different way? What if God's version or source or universe, whom it is you believe in? And for me, I'm a God's girl. So what if God's version of the how is so much bigger, so much better, creative, surprising, and delightful than the version your very capable, very thorough, very tired brain came up with? You've been so busy managing the route, you haven't left any room for the destination to arrive differently than you planned. And here's the thing that got me. Control is not faith. It is fear dressed up in a business suit, okay? Because it means business. And when you are gripping on to the how that tightly, what you're really saying underneath all of that planning is, I don't trust that it's coming unless I make it happen myself. And that underlying energy is loud, okay? That frequency of I don't trust it, it's screaming louder than every vision board, affirmation, and prayer, okay? Your dreams cannot land in clenched fist. They land in open hands. And I mentioned this in an episode recently because Sway Calloway said something I can't stop thinking about. He said, the process is a part of the dream. You are in the dream now. And friend, when you are white knuckling the how, you miss this completely. You've been so focused on getting to the dream that you don't realize that you're already inside of it. The becoming is part of the dream. The building is part of the dream. That Tuesday morning where you found 20 minutes in the middle of your regular life to work on what you love, that is the dream. And if you want to fight me on this, it's okay. You are welcome to hang on to your limitations for as long as you want to, okay? But listen, when you have the dream, you get glimpses, you get to see picture frames, if you will, of what your dream actually is. Some of us have a very vivid imagination, and you might be able to see this whole thing play out. And even then, friend, you are seeing the preview. You are seeing the highlight reel of your dream. It's like when you're asleep at night and you have a dream and the next morning you're trying to remember everything that happened in the dream. But there's some parts that either you can't remember or maybe they're fuzzy. That's what the dream is in real life, friend. You don't see everything that has to go into the dream in order for that dream to come true. That's why the becoming, the building, all of it is a part of it. And if you spend the whole process managing and controlling and exhausting yourself, okay, you are going to cross the finish line and still feel empty, hollow, and unfulfilled. And we don't do that around here, okay? And real talk, the how belongs to God. And if God isn't your jam, it belongs to the source, the universe, whom it is that you believe in. Your job, thankfully, actually, very gratefully, is not the how, because there's so many pieces and parts to the puzzle that have to align and come together. Do you know how much work that is? Do you know how much stress that can be, friend? Especially on us humans. Be glad we are not responsible for the how. But one thing about us humans, we love trying to mind God's business, don't we? Like, friend, that is not our business. But here is actually what belongs to us. Okay, because this is the part that we've all been waiting for, because I don't just want to tell you to put the how down. I want to tell you exactly what to pick up instead, because your job is actually three things. It is to hold the vision, not the how, not strangle it, okay, not cut off its air supply. Your job is to hold the vision. The vision is the what, it's the why, it's the feeling, the life it creates, the woman you become in the living of it. Here's why this matters so much. And I love it because, once again, science actually confirmed what I already knew in my spirit. And you've heard this before. You know it too. But this time when you hear it, I want you to embody it. Research has found that your brain does not fully distinguish between a real lived experience and one that is vividly imagined, which means when you hold the vision, when you really feel it, inhabit it, make it vivid and real inside of you, your brain begins to treat it as if it's real. It starts building pathways towards it. It starts priming you to recognize the opportunities that are already moving in that direction. You're not daydreaming, friend. You're literally training your brain for the future you're already moving towards. So hold the vision, keep it clear and vivid. Okay, so remember, the how belongs to God, source, universe, okay, that higher power, but the vision belongs to you. Your next job is to touch the dream daily. I love this one so much, and I think we completely underestimate it. You have to stay connected to the dream, not just on your motivated days or when things are going well. I'm talking every single day. Once again, research shows that it's the consistency of touching the dream, not the intensity of one really good session, but touching the dream regularly that builds the pathway in your brain that keeps you moving toward it, even on the days you don't feel like it. So what does touching the dream look like? It might be 30 seconds in the morning before you open up your phone, when you actually just close your eyes and feel what it feels like to already have it. It might be one sentence in your journal written as the woman who already has it. It might be a song that puts you right back in the energy of the moment it starts playing. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It don't need to be 50, 11 hours, okay? It just needs to be daily. Your dream needs your commitment and recommitment. That is your job. And the third job is to believe you're moving toward it, not hoping, desperately wishing and praying, not checking the vision board every hour just to make sure it's still there, okay? Pure believing. And here's the distinction that shifts so many things, because belief is not having full certainty about how it's going to happen. Belief is a settled knowing, a confirmation, if you will, that something is already in motion, that it's already working even when you can't see it. That's the process, and it's unfolding even when the evidence hasn't shown up in your physical reality yet. Heavy on the yet. Research also confirms people who genuinely believe they're moving towards something invest more effort, stay more consistent, recognize more opportunities along the way. Belief is what changes what you see, which changes what you do, which changes what you receive. So your job is not to know how it happens. Your job is to believe with every part of you that it is, in fact, happening. Hold the vision, touch the dream daily, believe you're moving towards it. That's the whole job description. The how was never on your list. When was the last time you sat down and really asked yourself, what do I need? Not what everybody else needs, not what's on the to-do list, but what you need, what you want, what you actually believe about yourself right now. Because here's what I know. Clarity does not come from thinking harder. It comes from asking better questions and taking action. And the moments I feel most stuck are usually the moments when I've just been asking myself the wrong questions. You know, them low vibration kind that just keep you stuck. The main character energy journal prompts create that space. They help you get quiet enough to hear yourself clearly and ask the kind of questions that actually move you forward, connecting you back to yourself and reminding you of who you actually are, not who you've been performing to be. I've linked them for you down below in the show notes. And friend, I think you're ready. Okay, friend, it's time for our favorite, the self-love two-step with the remix. And we are just going to jump right into it, okay? Step one is the open hand practice. Every single time today that you feel that urge to control, I want you to physically open your hands, even if it's just for a few seconds, and say, "This is mine to co-create, not to control." And do that as many times as you need to. That physical act of opening your hands is you allowing and being ready to receive. Step two, the one thing. Write down the one thing you are co-creating, not controlling, starting today. Just one, okay? And next to it, write one action that is your part of the co-creation. Just yours, okay? Not God's part. We not minding his business. Not anybody else's part, okay? Just yours. And do that one thing today. And then step three is the you step. You get still, you get quiet, and you ask yourself, what is my heart telling me to do next? Because whatever comes up, that is your next right aligned step. You never needed the whole plan, just the next move. Trust her, friend. She already knows. Ooh, friend. Now let me pour into you real quick. Okay, listen. I know you might be sitting there thinking, listen, but Letitia, if I let go of the how, what if nothing happens? What if letting go is the same as giving up? And I really want to address this because letting go of the how is not the same as giving up on your dream. Let me make that plain. You show up, you still do your part, 1000%. You still take the steps. You still do the work because we all know faith without works is dead. The difference is you have been locked into a belief that doesn't serve you, that your vision of how it's supposed to unfold is the only acceptable version. And friend, that's just not true. When you have not decided to trust the process ahead of the results, when you have not decided to trust yourself that you will do your part and still allow the beauty of life to unfold in the ways beyond your comprehension, you miss it. You miss the surprise, the delight, and the version of your dream that was always better than the one you scripted. And friend, let's not skip this part, okay? Because your way is good. Your way is also an option. I'm not dismissing your vision or your plan, but hear me with your whole heart when I say this. There is more than one way. There is definitely more than your way. There are infinite ways, infinite possibilities. And the most magical things in your life, the things you will look back on and say, I could have never planned that. Those things happened because you left your hands open long enough to receive them. Grant yourself permission to put how it's supposed to happen down. Not tomorrow, not after you figured out a backup plan, okay? But right now. You have permission to stop needing to know how it's going to happen before you can still believe that it will. You have permission to let life surprise and delight you. You don't have to force what's for you. Your preferences and vision, all of it's real. And there is room for all of the pieces and parts to come together without any of them becoming a cage. You have a very important part to do, your actual job, the one that has always been yours in those three things. Hold the vision, touch the dream daily, believe you are moving towards it. Science backs up every single one. Your brain is being trained by the consistency of your belief and your daily connection to what you're moving towards. Open your hands, friend. That's the posture. Dream boldly, hold tightly but loosely. I really need to figure out who said that because I say it a lot. And remember, the how is handled. It always was. And listen, friend, the next episode that's coming, it's a milestone. Episode 300, we're going to be talking about how to encourage yourself when nobody else is in the room. And I can't wait to share it with you. Friend, I love you so much. This one might have been a heavy hitter. So I really thank you for being here with me today, connecting to your heart in this super impactful way. Stay focused in on your job and allow God, source, the universe to do their thing, okay? Now, go find a woman in your life who you know is exhausted from trying to figure out how this is all supposed to unfold. And send her this episode, okay? No notes, just send it. She too needs permission to put it down today. And then come continue this conversation with me over on YouTube and drop me a comment. Tell me how are you ready to release today? I want to know, friend, and I can't wait to celebrate with you there. Let me go ahead and fix that crown right quick. Okay, queen? Because that's what we do around here. We fix each other's crown. All because together we can encourage over everything.